You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
Good morning, race fans, and welcome to Yardley, Pennsylvania.
Welcome to Wide Open Wednesday, your favorite racing show right here on WBCB. Here are your hosts, Nick Leach and Fred Fletcher.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is my favorite racing show.
Absolutely.
It's my favorite racing show, too. You know what? And it's going to be a lot of people's favorite racing show after we get done at Motorsport. So,
Really looking forward to that. I've already got my trailer hooked up.
I pulled in this station today, and there's a trailer without a race car on it, but I know which race car is going to be on it as we get set for Motorsports show. And if you're not doing anything this weekend, Friday and Saturday, the Motorsports show, of course, you know, it happens every year. The Salmons family do an excellent job. If you're not doing anything Friday or Saturday, get out to the Motorsports show. Wide Open Wednesday, we'll have a booth there. We'll be doing interviews. There will be a live broadcast from 10 to 2 on Saturday. Me and Fred will be doing a live broadcast for WBCB right out of Motorsports.
It'll be on the streaming.
It'll be on the streaming.
Yeah, not on the radio, just on the streaming.
Just on the streaming like we're doing here.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. Cool.
So it'll be just like we do on Wide Open Wednesday, but they're going to give us a stream right from Motorsports, so which is going to be cool. So we'll grab people as they walk by. Maybe we'll get a couple drivers to sit in with us.
Maybe grab Bill Elliott or
Ray Everham and put them on the radio with us. And the only problem is we're not going to have our regular engineer with us. We're not going to have Stone Cold Steve. We're going to have
Gus
the Bus.
Gus the Bus Barber. You guys will be in excellent hands.
Gus the Bus Barber.
For sure.
Maybe you can give us some stuff on the upcoming games coming up. I think I told Steve that the Eagles would win their first game. I didn't think that they'd be playing the Washington Redskins. Now, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they were a team of destiny. Okay? This year they're not a team of destiny, but Washington is.
Yeah.
Washington is for real.
They're a good team, but if they can contain Jaden Daniels, I think
that kid, and he's a rookie.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Now, how bad is Jalen Hurts hurt? He's got to play.
He's absolutely going to play, but they're going to have to be, I think, a little more reliant on Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Like, more than they already are.
They want to show the hand of Jalen Hurts. He's probably not as bad as...
Yeah, and the way Saquon's running, it just makes it more obvious that he could have broke the record with his eyes closed. Yep. And if they don't go all the way and win the Super Bowl, somebody's going to pay for that.
Yeah, that could comes down the line.
But we welcome everybody here to Wide Open Wednesday. We got some interesting guests that are going to call. I'll be honest with you, I totally forgot. We have one guest that's going to call tonight that one of the guys that I admire. He does a great job at what he does. He's going to call in. We'll leave him for a surprise. Of course, the usual suspects. I believe they canceled the daily driver race for this weekend. They can't get on the racetrack at Maple Grove because it's so cold and the weather's just wreaking havoc. Driving a dump truck today, you put dirt in the back of a dump truck when it's 8 degrees, 6 degrees, the stuff just doesn't come out. It's just crazy cold out there. It's supposed to get a little warmer. Sunday, it's supposed to be like Florida weather. Like
40.
40, yeah. Be like, but let's talk a little bit about motorsports. Fred, it's going to be your first time. We're going to break you in easy down there. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be, like I said, we're going to have a broadcast for WBCB down there. We're going to have a good old time.
Yeah, got a nice booth set up for Wide Open Wednesday. Setting up for the interviews. Got a whole backdrop, got a tablecloth, got some garage beer.
Oh, Garage beer.
Got some garage beer.
We're gonna get Kelsey out there.
Yeah, hopefully he's into motorsports, but not with his electric car. So he's got that Cybertruck. It's like, ugh. But,
Well, you know, some guys
but
get
we'll give him a
endorsements.
pass.
No, we won't hold him against him. He's got good beer, and you know, ever since you turned me on to that, I've been drinking a little bit of that too. So, but no, I mean, we got the indoor races still coming up. The Chili Bowl, of course, Kyle Larson. What can you say?
I'm amazed by Kyle Larson every time I see him.
We are looking at one of the greatest race car drivers to grace the planet. I mean, he is something. And he just, whatever he gets in, whether it be a shopping cart at the supermarket, whatever he gets is behind the wheel of anything that he drives. And I think I said this the last time, or I said it to you, within the next 5 years, I give it 5 years, and it probably happened before then, he will win the Indy 500. Once he gets comfortable in an Indy car, I believe he will win the Indy 500, and he may be the only guy that'll win the Indy 500 and the 600 in the same day at Charlotte, if they allow the time to happen.
That's a tall task.
But he
Watching him the other day at the Chili Bowl doing those donuts after the race,
and
then he took the steering wheel off, and he was still doing it. I'm like, how the hell are you doing that?
Well, he had to do something different because everybody else does the same
doing
thing.
donuts without steering my car, using the gas pedal and brake as a steering.
Exactly. So
that's a master.
I think we got a phone call already here. Who we got? Danny? Okay, we got Danny already. So on the line now we have Mr. Danny Heber. And Danny's a good friend of mine, good friend of one of my friends at work, Mike. And Danny is getting his new car, right? Dan, you got a new car?
It's a 2024. It was new last year, and all new body on it this year. So.
All right, so you got all new body on it, and you're going to travel to Florida, right?
Yes. The February 4th, we practiced at All-Tech with the Short Track Super Series.
So, all right, Dan, you were out of it for a little while. Okay, your family's well known for racing. Your father was the man back in the day. His father was Reds. Everybody knows who Reds is. Everybody knows who Danny is. Everybody knows who your brother is. Your brother was USAC racer, and then your nephews. So the Heber family has a strong bloodline in racing. But you decided, either you were walking around and you hit your head, you decided to come back and get involved in racing again, but you're having fun now, right, Dan?
Yeah, it's definitely coming back. We decided to come back. The nephews were racing, and when my father had passed away there, they kind of got so busy at work. So one reason I kind of went to help them get back racing and give my brother like an outlet besides work, because all he does is work constantly.
I see him all the time. Yep.
Yeah. This is love, but you need a break once in a while. But
exactly.
So we ended up getting back racing, and my wife wanted to do it one more time to experience it again. And we've had a great time. I mean, you're not hammering like we used to, and so it's been an enjoyable time, and we have some great guys that help. They've been around forever with me, so it's been a lot of fun.
So now you're getting a car ready for Florida. You got to put a new body on it. You got to do all that. And you're going to make a vacation out of it. People just don't realize what you got to do when the off season comes. It really ain't an off season for guys that are going to go to Florida and travel. Tell people a little bit about what you got to go through to get this thing ready for Florida, Dan.
Well, we're actually way ahead of schedule this year. Usually we're last minute. Most racers are, the time crunch. But we were able to, we went through the whole car, rebuilt rears, new transmission, go through the motor, repack all the bearings, a lot of which you would do weekly maintenance and, put a whole new body on it. And then you go, then you kind of go through the trailer and things like that, to get that ready. Now I'm already in Florida. I'll be here till sometime in end of February myself.
Nice.
So the guys are actually getting everything ready, finishing up. They got to load up. Bruce Bowen's going to have to letter the car next week yet.
Right.
So that's kind of the last thing we're waiting on. And but it's fun coming to Florida. It's a vacation.
Yep.
It's different, but you get to live your fantasy like being a full-time race team for a week.
Right.
I mean, it's fun, but it's
Right.
very exhausting, but it's very rewarding. You know, we've had some success down here. Especially for the amount of races we run now. This place, we're at the same racetrack every night.
Right.
And everybody has been racing. You know, we ran 10, 15 races last year. Like top guys run 80 and the normal
Right.
guys run 30, 40.
Right.
So at least no one's really, got a lot more, sharpness to say. So we're kind of makes it a little more even playing field.
Yeah,
It's the thing too. My dad we used to come down with him. He liked coming down. So it's a fun time.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's hard without Dad, because you and Dad done everything for you and Gary, and Dad was, everybody knew who Dad was. Everybody knew who Reds was, and Reds was one of them guys. If you needed anything, he would give it to you. He would help you out. He always wanted to help people out. Now, I know you want Mike to drive your trailer and all down to Florida, but Mike, even though Mike almost blew his arm off, he's still busier than hell, and I know he would love to be going down there with you, and he's on the mend. He's doing well, so we just got to get him better. That way he can go to these races with you and stuff. But I got to, as soon as Kenny Bruce knew you were going to be on my show, he gave me a text. He said, hey, if you ever need anybody to come on the show, he goes, let me know. I said, Kenny, you can come on the show anytime you want. So next week, I think we're going to have Kenny Bruce on the show. Mike gave me a couple stories about Kenny. He said, what's the story? What's the story with the fat kid fell down? Mike told me that story. He was carrying the jack in the trailer and he fell down.
We were racing Grandview, and it was the end of the night, so we're all loading up, and he was kind of hustling to get everything done. And Ray Carroll,
Yep.
everybody kind of knows Ray Carroll. He's a longtime friend of my family and father, and just kind of always, make sure if I get out of line, smacks me around a little bit, keeps me straight. But he was helping us, and I think it kind of made those guys, they were a little nervous around Ray, I think.
Right.
And he was kind of hustling in, and he lost his balance. And Kenny's a big guy, carrying stuff, and he kind of slid kind of in the trailer, like on his stomach there. So if you know Mike Errico,
I know
that's gold. That's gold for him to for years. We've had some a lot of fun with that over the years. But Kenny's a great friend,
awesome.
and
he's awesome.
He's been with I actually met Ken from my son's ice hockey.
Oh, cool.
Back 25
That's why they call him
years
Hockey
ago.
Ken, right? That's why they call him Hockey Ken.
That's why we call him Hockey Ken, because we had Kenny Kretzky.
Right.
So we had who you talking to? That's when we came up with the nickname Hockey Ken. So I think some people we were talking, doesn't know that nickname. We're saying Hockey Ken. They're like, who are you talking about?
Yeah, when I called him Hockey Ken, he goes, uh-oh, you must know somebody that I know, because you shouldn't know that nickname. And I said, Mike Errico. And you should be around him when we're driving dump trucks and we see different things. And he is so funny to be around. And I know you've had a lot of good times together. But we appreciate you calling, Dan, and I wish you a lot of good luck. And, when the Short Track Super Series comes to New Egypt, we get you over there, because Wide Open Wednesday you'll be over there pretty much, and I'll get a chance to interview you, and enjoy the sun. Send some of that warmth over our way, because it's cold as hell here.
Yeah, it's a little chilly here today. It's like 50, but I can't complain because I know what's going on at home, and it'll be like 75 here like 2 more days. So it's something to look forward to.
All right,
but
brother.
We'll be in New Egypt, so that'll be fun.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling. I appreciate you calling, Dan.
All right, thanks. I'll talk to you later.
All right. You want to take a break first? Sure. All right, we're going to take a break first, and then we'll come back. We got another caller. Who's on the line?
We got Earl on the next line.
Earl. Ooh.
Do you feel the need for speed and are a car racing fan? Then tune in every Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. for the Need for Speed Auto Show, hosted by me, America's mechanic, Fred Fletcher. Everything you want to know about our local tracks and races to the NASCAR scene, as well as our area car shows and cruise nights. Brought to you by Fletcher's Garage in Fairless Hills and heard every Thursday morning at 9:30 on WBCB 1490 AM, 107.3 FM, and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite proofing and pest control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
93% of Pennsylvanians killed in a car crash while unbelted could have survived if they just buckled up. One simple click, a second of your time. It's the difference between making it home to your loved ones or not making it home at all. Whether you're a driver or a passenger, make the life-changing choice to wear a seatbelt. Every drive, every time. It's not just the law, it's common sense. Buckle up, PA. Learn more at penndot.pa.gov/safety.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
And we're back here on Wide Open Wednesday. Once again, here are your hosts, Nick Leach and Fred Fletcher.
Well, I can't believe that somebody actually beat this guy to call, and nobody beats this guy as the first caller, so we'll bring him right in. Earl Krause,
hey,
how are
hey,
you?
Nick.
What's going on, Earl? I
It's
can't.
good hearing Danny Heber there. That's he and Gary and their dad Reds. Boy, that's a great racing family from the Langhorne area.
Yep.
Good people. That's good to see they're still involved too.
Yeah, Danny's a good guy. I work with one of his best friends, and I knew sooner or later I was going to get Danny in here. He's in Florida where it's 50, going to be 75 tomorrow.
Yeah, I caught that. Yeah.
Jealous, very jealous of that. And I'm sitting next to a guy right now, Earl. He is so excited he can barely contain himself. He's ready for motorsports.
Okay, that's great. Fred, you have the car all hitched up and ready to go?
I got the trailer on, so I'm just got a couple odds and ends I'll button up tomorrow morning before I load it up. So
Okay, just like going to Flemington Speedway on a Saturday night.
there you go. Brings back some memories.
Oh, he's all excited.
Except for the 8 degrees outside.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
gotta
right.
get rid of that. It won't be 8 degrees
It's going to
inside
be a
the
great show at Motorsports.
Yep.
Starts on Friday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when the doors swing open. And on Saturday, we open the doors at 10. And early arriving fans can actually come into the stage area a little bit early each day. They can get there around 1:30 on Friday and around 9:30 in the morning on Saturday before the show floor actually opens. But there's exhibits in the stage area that they can see. Come on in out of the cold. So if they want to get there nice and early. And again, just to remind the folks, the show is at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks, Pennsylvania. It's just off Route 422. Just exit at the Oaks interchange and go down Station Road, and you'll come right to the Expo Center. And very easy to find. It's right off the Pennsylvania Turnpike as well. Probably about 7 or 8 miles from the Pennsylvania Turnpike Valley Forge exit. So very easy to get to. And as they say, just follow the crowd, and you'll be right at the show.
Yeah,
Sounds
it'll
good.
be pretty cool to get Fred in there and get him to get acclimated to all the stuff. I can't wait for him to get there, Earl, because he's never been. It's his first time. I remember my first time
that's
going.
great.
I was in awe of everything that was there. Not just the race cars and stuff, but all the things that you can do there. All the things that you can, like the racing stuff and the vendors and the things that if you are getting into racing that you can get there. It's a one-stop shop, if you will.
Well, that's what we mentioned before, too, that, of course, for the racing fans, it's just like, just a great time there to be there. There's so much to do during the day. There's not enough hours to be at the show.
Right.
And for the actual hardcore racer, as you mentioned, we have 3 excellent seminars on Saturday. Jay Castamore, who he probably has like 790 to 800 dirt modified feature wins as a tire prep expert. He was a tire specialist for many teams, and he's going to do a tire preparation seminar. And then Joe Mooney, who's been a sprint car crew chief and car chief. Matter of fact, he was a car chief for Brad Sweet's World of Outlaw team. He'll be giving a sprint car setup seminar on Saturday afternoon. And Matt Jancic, he's coming back to the show. Outstanding sportsman racer, great sportsman racer from New York.
Right.
And he's going to be moving into the modified division this coming season. But he's coming to the show to talk to the dirt sportsman racers.
Oh, cool.
He's going to be giving a kind of an introductory seminar, kind of geared towards a driver, like they're coming out of street stocks or four cylinders,
Right.
for example. Maybe just starting off in crate sportsman. Like, okay, I've got the crate sportsman car, now what do I do? And Matt's going to give a seminar. He's going to cover all the basics of how to race. So that's all those seminars are free. So once you come into the show, it's absolutely free to go. And again, for the hardcore racers, we have like a manufacturer's midway. All the latest racing products are there. Randy LaJoy will be at the show with the joy of seating. So for racers looking to get a brand new seat, Randy will measure them up, take the orders, give them all the information.
Hey, maybe I should have done that first.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I bought a new seat because the other one I had in there was a 15-inch wide. There's no way I was getting in that.
Oh, okay.
So I bought an 18.5-inch wide, not thinking that the length was going to be proportionate. And now I can't use the shifter, so...
Oh boy!
So we got Randy Laird's going to come over after motorsports and give me a hand setting things
very
up.
Good.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
I screwed up and bought too big of a seat. Probably, I don't even know if a 17-inch would have worked for me in this point. I should just lose the weight.
Nobody likes a quitter, Fred. So, but no, I mean, the thing that I always enjoyed about motorsports is you go there, you get to see people. You're so used to seeing them in a driving suit and all that. You get to see them in a easy-going atmosphere, and you get to talk to them about different things. And not only do they have all that stuff, they have collectible stuff too. And there's a lot of people that collect die-cast and all that. If you cannot find it at motorsports, you're not going to find it. So if you're a collectible of NASCAR stuff or sprint car stuff and die-cast and all that, make sure you go check the die-cast area out. I always do that when I go there. There's a couple of things that I've been looking for, and if you can't find it there, you're not going to find it.
Well put, Nick. Exactly. That's it.
But
there'll be race cars from every division, every type.
Yep.
Asphalt, dirt, sprint cars, stock cars.
Yep.
You name it, they'll all be there. So.
And most speedways are represented too. So, like, I just got a whole bunch of schedules from Maple Grove. Maple Grove is going to have a booth there, which I found out, which is cool. And we're going to have schedules at the Wide Open Wednesday booth for Bridgeport, New Egypt, Maple Grove, mostly all the people that we cover. Anybody else that's willing to give us some schedules, we'll put them in our booth, and you're more than welcome to put them in our booth, and we'll give them out. Is Wall having a booth there, Earl, or no?
No, this year they're not.
Okay.
Wall's not going to have a specific booth, but ATQMRA, the TQ Midget Group, they run at Wall every week, and they'll be doing like a co-promotion with Wall Stadium.
Well, if you have any schedules, bring them over to our booth, and we'll hand them out.
Sounds good. Okay.
All right.
What time?
Ray Everham will be there, and Bill Elliott throughout the weekend.
Yeah. What time? I know tomorrow it's not actually open. What time does the doors open for drop off of the cars and stuff?
Anytime tomorrow. What time are you thinking about getting there to drop off the car for setup? Around noontime? Or?
Yeah, noontime, maybe 12, 1 o'clock. Because I'm going to come in here and do my radio shows. Now it'll put me, here till 10, and then I'll load up everything and head on up.
That should be a good time to get there.
Okay.
Because it's very busy early in the morning, and right there around noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, that's a good time. So if you get there around then, that should be perfect.
Oh, great. All right, so I'll time it for that. And also Saturday, I know you were involved with this too, getting us set up for the WBCB live stream on Saturday from 10 to 2. So
Gus will be coming there, the engineer, right?
Yep, so that ought to be good, and hopefully we can get you on there. And
that would be great.
And we'll be streaming too, so it's...
oh, that's great. Now, you're going to have a great time, Fred.
I'm looking forward to it like you don't believe.
All right.
All right, Earl, well, give us a call tomorrow morning like you always do, and we got another car waiting in the wings.
All right. One thing real quick I do want to mention, we remember another very special member of the New Jersey racing family who sadly passed away just a few days ago, Martin Truex Sr.
Yes.
Dad of Martin Truex Jr. and Ryan Truex.
Yep.
Ryan Sr., or rather Martin Sr., Began his career at Wall Stadium, was a sportsman division champion. Then he won 17 modified features, won the Garden State Classic, won the Turkey Derby in 1989, and then moved into the NASCAR Busch North Series and won a race at New Hampshire. So he drove his own family team, and he also drove for Don Ling.
Yep.
So passed away very suddenly at age 66. So we remember Martin Truex Sr., great guy and a great representative of New Jersey racing.
Thank you, Earl. I appreciate you saying that because we were going to say it, but it comes out a whole lot better from you, buddy.
Yeah, it does.
Thank you.
All right,
Earl. We'll talk to you in the morning.
Talk to you in the morning, and we'll see you guys at the show.
All right.
Take care.
See ya.
Who we got now?
Jeff.
Jeff? Aha. Now, this guy here does the Short Track Super Series. He was an announcer for many years at Bridgeport. Still does the Friday stuff at Bridgeport, I think. Now he's the announcer at Grandview, and he travels all over the place. And we have Jeff Alem on the line with us. Jeff, how you making out, pal?
All right. What's going on, guys?
No, what's going on with you? I mean, I know they changed some rules at Diamond. I talked to Casey, and I'm glad that I'm getting a chance to talk to you. I asked Casey this question, and I asked you the same question. Does that help or does it hurt with the rule changes?
Help or hurt in what respect?
Changing the panhard bar. Does that make a big difference? Are guys complaining about that or not?
Yes, there are some complaints. There are those who love it, and there are those who had to change to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak.
Right.
And there are those who are very happy to go back to the old style because they actually hated it. They didn't like the way the cars handled, and they prefer to go back. So, 6 to 1, half to the other. There's a lot of people that like to race Grandview and Big Diamond that, they may not be completely thrilled with it, but if they want to race there, they're going to make the change and do it anyway. So,
well, do you think it equals out the playing field, Jeff? Is that what they're thinking?
No, I don't think it's that they're looking to even out the playing field. At least from the Grandview perspective, they were looking at it because the cars really, how shall I say, seem sometimes that like they're out of the driver's control. Like they get into the corner, if the track has a little character to it, the driver doesn't have control of his car because the cars tend to hop so much.
Right.
And with the old standard setup, the cars are more under the driver's control, and also with the drive lines, the cars roll back and forth, entering and exiting the corners, and it's been very hard on the drive lines, and they've seen a tremendous increase in broken drive shafts. Now, that can be prevented if the teams are up on their maintenance and really following that and checking that. Some do, some don't, and, it is an excessive cost to continue to replace drive shafts and the yokes, every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever. So, so that's what they're looking to. The main thing for them was safety.
Well, when we were younger and we watched race cars, I remember Doug Hoffman telling my brother one time. He said, "When all four wheels are on the ground, the car's faster." And he said, the car that goes the fastest stops the fastest also. And he always told my brother John that. And if you watch some of the cars, like you were saying, they get over so hard on the right rear, you can almost walk underneath them when the left rear raises up. It kind of gives you that late model feel. And I didn't know what the guys were thinking, as far as what the changes were. Casey said he thought it was going to be different, but he kind of feels the same way you do. So I guess it's a good thing.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it depends on the track size. Now, we haven't seen it so much at Grandview, but, somewhat on the bigger tracks, they are now so hooked up and so almost locked down to the racetrack because they're trying to get as much grip as they can to go as fast as they can.
Right.
This will unhook them a little more and hopefully help to add to, allowing the guys to pass and work their way through the field a little bit. I mean, we really didn't see that so much at Grandview because it's, the smaller track. You don't see that much, but that should help in that regard because now the drivers are going to have to go back to driving the cars. It's not be just put the pedal down and drive and just steer the car through the corners. You're going to have to drive it.
Well, you've been around. You do the short track Super Series, and you've been traveled all over the place. I asked Johnny Gibson this. I'll ask you the same thing. What is your favorite track to go to, Jeff?
Oh, boy.
All right, I'll give you two. Give me two of your favorite tracks to go to. Besides our local tracks. I mean, we love our local tracks. Two of your favorite tracks that you travel to. How's that?
The favorite tracks that we travel to. All right. Well, obviously, I'm going to have to say Port Royal because that's a favorite.
Yep.
And there are so many other good ones that I enjoy going to. I'm going to have to say I really had a great experience at Autodrome Granby this year.
Cool.
It was just for the setup for the fans, for the drivers, and for us working. You know, we had a spectacular view of the racetrack from where we were. You know, it's really cool. Fonda is almost the same way. When you sit up on top of the grandstand roof and the tower up there, you can see everything. So those are cool tracks that where you can see when you're doing your job. You know.
Yeah. Now there's a guy that looks up to you, that says that, you know, you were his mentor, and he looks up to you. You're his guy. Now he has full control of a racetrack in South Jersey. He is, you know, Chris Moore. You know who I'm talking about. He admires you a lot. He's got the chance of a lifetime here, Jeff. What do you think of Chris Moore?
I think a lot of Chris. He's a fine young man. He's been fantastic to work with. You know, I love working with him, enjoy working with him. I think I'm going to get to work with him a little bit maybe during the summer here and there, but I'm going to miss working with him because we've been working together for a long time. You know, he's still a young guy, but, you know, he started his career. We've been working side by side since the beginning, since when we started working together at Bridgeport and then with the series and everything. So, you know, he's been around. Hopefully he retained everything that he observed, and he can apply it to his new task at hand. So I wish him the best, and you know, I'm going to miss seeing him every special event that we go to.
I hear you. Well, what's in store for the people when they go to Grandview this year?
Well, when I write the press releases, I always put it this way. We've got excitement for some of those big special events, but we still have the traditional favorites and the regular weekly program. Now, the regular weekly program, some people go, oh, yeah, you know, you have the regular weekly program quite a lot on a Saturday night. Well, you know, they've been doing that for a long time at Grandview, and I guess sometimes you can say if it ain't broke, why fix it?
That's right.
But, you know, they've been very blessed, and they say this a lot, even to sometimes if you ask Tina or Teresa, they'll tell you we're very blessed to have the support that we do, because the drivers come and support the track. They've got great car counts, and the fans do likewise because they love the action. So they take great pride in putting on the shows and drivers entertained. So that's the main objective every Saturday night. We're very fortunate to have a two-division show most Saturday nights, and the people like that. And then we throw in that a third division now and then. This year we're going to have URC back. We were unable to get together with them on a date last year. URC's back. USAC East Coast is back again this year. And then, of course, the traditional Saturday night favorites, the annual race, the Firecracker 40 for the sportsmen, the Forrest Rogers Memorial for the modifieds, Bruce Rogers Memorial for the season opener, and the Freedom 76 for the season finale. And then, of course, we got those three big Thunder on the Hill races with the high limit 410 sprints on May 20th, the USAC National Sprints on June 17th, and the always popular PA Speed Week on July 1st.
Well, that's a full card of stuff. Well, we appreciate you calling, Jeff. We got them lined up like jets coming in here to the airport. We appreciate you taking your time to give us a call, and I'm sure I will see you during the summer.
Yeah. All right, maybe even at Motorsports, right?
Yep, absolutely. We'll be there. Come see us, Jeff.
All right, take care. Have a good one. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Anytime. You're welcome anytime. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, Billy.
All right, Billy from Maple Grove, and I understand that they canceled the event for this weekend already because of the weather, Bill.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of all the snow that we got, all the snow lovers out there, we finally got some snow after having such a mild winter the last 5 to 6 years. Unfortunately, because of the snow, we had to cancel for this weekend. We always are thinking of driver safety first at Maple Grove Raceway. So unfortunately, this weekend has been canceled, but we'll have one more Winter Series race. That will be next month, February the 22nd. But don't worry, Maple Grove will still be having things going on. We have a setup that's going to be at Motorsports this weekend. So if you want to learn about Maple Grove Raceway, we'll be having a stand at Motorsports. Also, we'll have a special guest as part of our booth. We'll have Mike Esposito, the driver of the Jersey Attitude Jet Dragster. Nick, you saw him at the Diesel Truck Show at Maple Grove this past season. Jets are always a real popular feature at our special events, and we're happy to have him as part of our display. And we look forward to seeing everybody at Motorsports this weekend.
Are you going to be there?
Unfortunately, I will not be, but I believe Shane and Matt will be there, and they'll be able to talk to you guys about Maple Grove Raceway. All the great stuff that we have going on this year. We'll have flyers and some apparel for sale, so stop on by the Maple Grove booth and check us out and give us a try.
Well, I'll have schedules at my booth and Fred's booth for Maple Grove. I just picked up a whole stack of them from Matt, and I'm going to go over there and I'm going to interview the jet car guy. I'm going to interview Shane. So I'll take care of Maple Grove for you, Billy. You don't have to worry about that.
Hey, Bill, I just had a good idea that maybe you can bounce off of Kyle. It's when it snows like this, have snowplow drag races, and then you can get the track cleared in like 9 or 10 seconds. Yeah. Cut 3 passes, you're done.
I must say Kyle has a lot of equipment courtesy of his family's business, so I'll definitely pass that suggestion on to him to see about having some races next season. Or when
keep
we
that
get
track
snow.
clear.
All right, well, pay attention to our broadcast. We're broadcasting from 10 to 2 on Saturday. I'm sure we're going to mention Maple Grove, Bill. Thanks for calling.
All right. Thanks, Bill.
Anytime, guys. We'll see you next week.
All right, brother. Now, we taking a break?
Sure.
You got a caller?
Yeah, we need a break, though.
All right. Who? Taking a break.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
My son Aiden has asthma. Secondhand smoke has triggered his asthma so bad to the point where he had to end up in the emergency room. And he has spent multiple nights in intensive care. Now he's on a whole bunch of medications. My tip to you is, don't be shy to tell people not to smoke around your kids.
4 out of 10 U.S. kids are exposed to secondhand smoke. If you or someone you know wants free help to quit smoking, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
WBCB is now on your FM dial at 107.3, serving Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer counties since 1957. You can now listen to all your WBCB favorites crystal clear on 107.3 FM. A new age for WBCB on a new frequency, 107.3.
And we are back here on Wide Open Wednesday. Once again, here are your hosts, Nick Leach and Fred Fletcher.
All right, we probably got one of the hottest open-wheel drivers, I'll say it, in the country.
Yeah,
whatever he gets in, he's another one of them guys that's just natural, and he's young, and he's got a lot of years coming, and he just fresh off the Chili Bowl. Briggs Danner, what's up, my man?
How are you guys? Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, thank you for calling. You know how long I begged Heather to get you on my show because I'm friends with Heather and Timmy. And I'm like,
yeah,
you owe me, Heather, because she was one of my trophy girls at New Egypt. So I said,
right.
we got to get Mr. Danner. Let me ask you something. How cool is it to race at the Chili Bowl and do what you did there? I mean, how you're like inches away from winning there.
Yeah. I mean, it's neat, you know. It was only my 4th Chili Bowl, So I grew up watching the Chili Bowl like on Speed Channel and stuff like that. So like my first year there, just walking around in the building, like scoping it all out and seeing everything that goes on, it's just very surreal. And then being able to compete at the level which we got to the last 2 years really, and make the show last year and this year, I kind of threw away our prelim night, but to be running up front and just to experience the whole thing is very cool.
Now, Briggs, you're a gasser, man. Everything you get in, you run as hard as you can. You try not to take any extra chances, and people are watching, man. People are watching you. You drove for one of the best guys you could drive for. I'm sure he was happy with what you did. That could lead to other things. I mean, what are your plans for this year? What are you going to do this year? You still going to drive for Timmy, or you got something else going on?
Yeah, we'll be running. We're running the full USAC National Sprint Car Tour with Timmy, Fran, and the 39 car.
Awesome.
So we made about 30 shows last year, and just kind of pick and choose the ones that made sense to go to. And now we're going to be running the full points deal. So we'll be attending. There's 50 sprint car shows on the schedule for the USAC National Series, and then we'll be filling in with some East Coast races when we can, maybe a couple wing shows, and then the stuff back at home here too, micro racing and speedster stuff, whatever we can to keep busy. We'll definitely be doing a good job of that this year.
Now, I know for a fact that you didn't tell Brendan Hires to go blaring into that corner like he did. I know he knows better. If he wanted to get on TV, all you have to do is stand next to you or like Kaylee Bryson or somebody. I love Brendan, but sometimes somebody's got to tell me you got to slow down to go fast sometimes.
Yeah, well, he did a good job of that. He got his TV time a little bit that there was available. So
tell him you got to get your TV time. I mean, the kid's got balls. I'll give him that. But sometimes you got to slow down and go fast. I mean, but I've watched you, and I've watched you do what you do. And I mean, Timmy and Heather are ecstatic. I mean, Timmy couldn't get a better guy to drive his race car. Timmy's been around for a long time. He's been a friend of mine. Right. Heather's been a friend of mine. They're great people. His father was a great guy. The great thing about them when they raced is they were sponsored by Tasty Cake. And me being a well-rounded individual, they used to bring me Tasty Cakes to New Egypt every time they would come. So that was kind of like my favorite car, the Tasty Cake car.
Yeah, definitely. No, I mean, between Tim and Fran, Heather and Tammy, they love racing. They want to go racing, and I'm lucky to be able to drive for somebody as motivated as them. I really think we're going to go out there and have a good year. Last year was good. Could have been a little bit better with some misfortune and some mistakes. We could have had a couple more national wins, but not everything goes the way it should go. So looking forward to this year and seeing how many we can pick off and see how good of a points run we can do.
Well, you know that the devil's going to come calling when you start winning all these races and you start doing real well. Somebody's going to try and pick your pocket and steal you from them guys. You know what I mean? But you seem like a guy that doesn't forget where he comes from. They're great people. You'll do a lot of good with them. But you're just an outstanding talent, and we got a lot of young guys that are coming up that are just. They're just naturals at it, and you seem to be one of them guys. And I enjoy watching you race. I enjoy the people that you drive for. Timmy's worked hard at what he's worked hard at. Fran's worked hard at it. And to have you drive their car and do as well as you do, that's pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, sure. I greatly appreciate that. I always tried to get in whatever I could, whenever I could to race, whether if it was a big car, little car, open wheel or fender car, it didn't really matter to me. I always tried to race whatever I could, whenever I could, and I truly believe that anytime you get behind the wheel, no matter what it is, it's going to make you better, whether you learn from it or you have good runs or bad runs, you always got to learn. So I feel like that's the biggest part of it.
Now, what do you do when you're not racing? What do you do to relax or take it easy? What do you do when you're not racing?
Working and sleeping. Work, race, sleep. That's about it.
What do What do you do for work?
I work we have a family business. My dad owns a paving and excavating company.
Cool.
So right now we're busy with some snow removal stuff, and once the spring comes around, we get to work with. We pave parking lots, driveways, so a little bit of residential, a little bit of commercial stuff. So we definitely keep busy.
Yeah, tell them don't fill no trucks with dirt in this kind of weather, because I drive a dump truck for a living. My boss owns Maple Grove Raceway, Kenny Koretsky, and don't fill no dump trucks with dirt because the dirt don't come out. And it wasn't Kenny that filled them; it was somebody else. But man, talk about rock solid in the back of a dump truck. Forget about it. It's just crazy. But no, I mean, I see big things happening for you, and it kind of already happened at the Chili Bowl. I'm going to say you're probably going to win that one day. So just keep minding your P's and Q's. Don't stop doing what you're doing, and keep making Heather and Timmy happy, man, because you're definitely doing that. And I admire you for what you're doing, and hopefully we'll get you a chance to come to New Egypt and one of them local tracks or Bridgeport, and I'll get a chance to see you, and I'll get a chance to interview you. If you're coming to motorsports, come to the Wide Open Wednesday booth, and I'll chat with you. I would like to do that.
Sounds good. Yeah, we hopefully we'll be floating around. It's going to be a lot more hectic with the national deal that we're following. So, but I'd like to make as many of the East Coast races as we can. So we'll be floating around somewhere or another.
All right, brother. Well, we appreciate you calling. Thanks for doing that. I know you're very, very busy, and I appreciate you doing that for us, brother. And we'll be rooting for you no matter what you do.
Oh yeah.
Of course. Thank you. Thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem, Briggs. Thank you. Got to take a break?
No, you're good now.
We're good? All right.
No, we're still good.
We're still good.
We got time.
All right. We're going to be at Motorsports. There's going to be a stream from 10 to 2. Me and Fred will be doing the stream. We'll have
on Saturday.
On Saturday at the show. Also, Fred's going to be there to take the car tomorrow, set up the booth. He'll be there Friday. I'm going to try and get there Friday. If I can't get there Friday, I'm definitely going to be there Saturday all day. We'll be doing the radio stuff. It's not going to be on the radio. It's just going to be on the live stream from 10 to 2. Me and Fred will be doing that. And then, of course, we'll be doing our Wide Open Wednesday stuff. Stop by our booth, pick up some schedules from Bridgeport, New Egypt, Maple Grove, and anybody else that wants to give us a schedule.
I'll be doing some Facebook Lives there from
Facebook Live stuff.
We'll come off and on, throughout the 2 days there.
Yep.
Chatting it up with whoever we run into. And,
well, me and Fred are going to do kind of like a pit walk thing. We'll go walk around the show with live. I believe my niece Dina's going to come so she can carry the camera for us, and then me and Fred are going to go walk around and mess with people.
That's what we do best.
That's what we do best. Yeah. The thing of it is we're just going to go out there and have some fun, and that's what we're trying to do here. If you want to be involved in this, all you got to do is go call Fletcher's Garage. We're looking for sponsors, and we'll have our sponsorship package pamphlet available to you when you come to Motorsports. Just come on out and see us. We want to see the people that follow our show. We're probably going to have. Kate's probably going to have something for you to sign. That way we know the people that are following our show. We know a lot of people follow it, but they're afraid to call in. It's not going to bite you if you call in, gang. If you have any questions, go to our Facebook page, our Instagram page. You can go to Fred's pages. You can go to my pages. Any questions you have, anything you would like to see us do on the show, or anything else, we got our studio up and running. We're in there Saturday. We had a blast with that. Magic was in there with us.
Nick Marco came over.
Nick Marco came over a little too late, but he was there.
Yeah, it was a nice audience when I was shooting the America's Mechanic YouTube videos.
He done the America's Mechanic over there. That was pretty cool. And then, of course, I had to do my Promptu promo for Wide Open Wednesday. That was pretty cool. I can't wait to see that. Yeah, I mean, we're in it to win it here, me and Fred. We're
and as you can tell, that this show is really taking off because we're getting actual national drivers.
And we want to take you guys with us. We want to take you guys with us.
And it's actually been good for my business, and I want it to be good for everybody else's business as well.
And once we go to Motorsports, we're going to talk to some different people. We're going to try and get Ray Everham to come over and talk to us. I've known Ray for a while. I was an Elliott fan. Who isn't a Bill Elliott fan?
I'm telling you.
I mean, $1 Million Bill, you know what I mean? Fred's going to have a chance to walk around the show. I can't wait. He hasn't been there. It's going to be his first motorsports show. So, if you ain't doing nothing, Friday, Fred will be there. I'm going to try and be there. Kate Brown's going to be there along with Warren Olson there. That's our team, the Four Musketeers. It's me, Fred, Kate, Warren. You know, without Kate, we couldn't do what we do. She sets up all our stuff. They're in Indiana right now. I'm pretty sure she's probably listening, making sure we ain't making no mistakes. As long as our engineer here, Stone Cold, hits the right buttons, we're in good shape. But tomorrow, from 9 to 9:30, it's America's Mechanic. Last week, he done a full show because we had a glitch last week. But this week he'll be doing America's Mechanic. He'll be talking about winter, right? Winter stuff.
Winter stuff, road salt, all that kind of, all the detrimental stuff that happens to your car in this weather and how to avoid it.
Yeah. Fred's good on that. And I'm telling you, if you need something done to your car, if you're thinking that something's wrong, take it over to Fletcher's. If you're in the local area, give Fred a call. He'll try and diagnose it over the phone for you. And then bring it in.
No.
No? No?
No, you got to bring the car in.
Bring the car in.
Hold the phone a little closer so I can hear that
He'll
rod
diagnose
knock.
it over the phone, but you got to bring it in after he diagnoses it. He'll diagnose it, but he can't fix it.
Well, if I answer the phone, I'll give you an answer. If Kelly answers the phone, she's going to tell you, no way.
All right, come on over. See Fred at Fletcher's Garage. Trust me, once you go there once, you'll keep going back. And trust me, he's got reasonable prices. He's got great mechanics over there. They do a great job, and they'll take care of you over there. And like I always say, if Fred can't fix it, it's broke. So, and
it's really broke.
You'll get a chance to see the guy behind the microphone Friday and Saturday at Motorsports. You'll get a chance to see Fred Fletcher. Everybody knows my big mouth. They get tired of hearing it. So, but no. It's been a blast, and it's only going to get better. The weather's going to break. We're going to have some warm weather. We're going to get out to these racetracks. We're going to do some stuff. Got to thank Jeff Alem for calling, Briggs Danner, Danny Heber, Earl Krause, always Earl Krause. He'll be calling tomorrow. Need for Speed from 9:30 to 10. Fred does that. I usually call in. Earl Krause usually calls in. We'll be talking motorsports. Get out there, gang. When motorsports hits, right around the corner, then we have a couple indoor shows, the Trenton show, the Atlantic City show.
Yeah, I'm looking for the Trenton show, too.
And then the warm weather comes.
Yeah.
The Trenton show's cool. It's the dirt show. They put some clay on there on the hockey rink, and it's wild.
So. You know what makes me happy is like we're in the off season, and we see such a buzz about racing all through the off season. Can we imagine once the season starts?
Well,
and all the stuff that we have, going on.
Because this year we're going to have access. You're going to be racing at New Egypt and Bridgeport, and we're going to have access to all that. And we're going to have access to these drivers and stuff where we didn't have that last year. We're going to have that this year. So,
but I'm saying through the off season when there's no races and stuff, and we still find things to talk about, find interesting people to talk to, and it's only going to get better through the once the weather breaks and the tracks start opening and we get out there on the track and interviewing these people and have a lot to talk
Briggs Danner
about.
just came from the Chili Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he called. You know,
so.
Danny Heber's vacationing in Florida, and he called.
Yep.
You know, these people are taking their time out to be with us, and we appreciate that. Jeff Alem's always busy. He's always doing something. He took the time out to call us. Chris Moore was going to call us, but Chris, 2 weeks at the Chili Bowl took its toll on him. So he's a little under the weather. He said he would try to call, and if he didn't, I told him I would understand.
If you can survive 2 weeks in Oklahoma,
oh my God,
something.
2 weeks in Oklahoma, especially with him walking around doing all the stuff that them guys were doing.
I was stationed up that way. It was like, whoa. Oklahoma was like, whoa.
I told him he'd done a great job. And Jeff was kind of his mentor when he was at Bridgeport, and I could tell just talking to Jeff how proud he is of Chris. And I think Chris is going to do a good job at New Egypt. I think he's going to turn some things around there. I mean, Bridgeport, I talked to Doug Rose. We're going to get some schedules from their booth, and we're going to have them at our booth. Wide Open Wednesday is not just a one-trick pony here, gang. We got them all. We got New Egypt. We got Bridgeport. We got Maple Grove. We're going to get Grandview. We're going to get Big Diamond. We had Casey on from Big Diamond. We had Jeff from Grandview. And we had Chris from New Egypt. And we had Doug Rose on here. So we're kind of covering all our bases. And we have Wall covered with Earl Krause. You can't ask for anybody better to cover Wall along with the nostalgia stuff. And we're going to have Earl's time capsule real soon, so we're going to have to figure that out and get some of these legends on.
Yeah, and I've been doing a lot of research on some of the older tracks, that ones that we haven't seen, like Trenton. I saw when I was a little kid, but we never really got on there. And Langhorne, I don't remember at all. My dad does. I found out Nick Marco does too, so he'd be a good reference. But Earl and Mark Yapel and those guys being a part of our time capsule.
Right.
Oh man, there's going to so much
Well,
information, so many memories are going to come back to all of us.
I went to pick up some stone in Harmony one time,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy that was with me knew more than I did. He goes, this is right where the racetrack used to be. I'm like, huh? So I got to ask Earl about that.
Yeah.
Harmony, sand and gravel was on David Van Horn's car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. I went there to get stone, and David's like, yeah, the racetrack, that's where Harmony was down in there. So I got to ask Earl about that because I know Earl knows all about that.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a series of the Earl's time capsule, and we're going to try to. There's so much information. We're probably going to be hour-long shows, and maybe dedicate each one to a track, or maybe two to an episode.
Yeah. Yep.
And
And
information I've been finding out.
And then put on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Because it's probably not going to be a live show. It's probably going to be put in
It's going to be taped. Yeah,
it's going to be
tape
taped and put on there. You'll see what me. Well, ours was live because I did it on the Facebook page, but. When you see America's Mechanic that Fred did, that was put in the can by Greg, Mr. Magic himself. But yeah, a lot of that stuff's probably going to be put in the can, and then it's going to go on our YouTube channel. Fred's got all that in the works too. But yeah, if you're interested in sponsoring this show, just give Fred a call, Fletcher's Garage. You can do that, or send me an email. My phone number's on my Facebook page in my profile. You can give me a call. Anybody that's interested, we want to thank Sherry and Bob Drayton for coming aboard. Sage Chiropractic. Fred Fletcher's Garage, of course, who's been the main sponsor. Flag to Flag with Warren and Kate, and we got a few other people in the works.
There's definitely a return on investment here. So it's not like you're just throwing money onto some kind of show. I'll do everything but guarantee that you'll get a return on your investment.
And Maple Grove helps us out. Matt over there.
It just makes our show better to have more assets to it.
And Fred's a big guy with the local community. So if anybody from the local community is listening, you know who Fred Fletcher is. You know Hot Rod Santa, and trust me, come summertime, you're gonna know all about Hot Rod Santa, and you're gonna also know about Heroes and Hot Rods too. Yeah. So that's gonna be a pretty neat show when we decide to figure out when we're gonna do that too. Fred's waiting for Nifty 50s, so
I'm waiting for Nifty 50s to open up. I got some Johnny Longhots the other day.
Yeah, and he sends me a picture of Johnny Longhot. I said, dude,
nice Italian hoagie.
He sent me an Italian hogie. I'm like, dude, you're sending a fat guy a picture of a hoagie. What's up with that? He goes, well, you're not here. I can't take you with me. All right, so what you have from Johnny Longhots this week?
I didn't actually go this week. Gus and I went to, we checked out a new place in Yardley. It's called 9th on Main Street. It's a little sandwich place.
Oh, yeah?
Very, very good. Yeah, it was a recommendation from Mike Warren, our traffic manager here. Yeah, very, very good.
What you had?
I had the Italian roast pork. So I had like sharp provolone, long hot on it, broccoli rabe. I think Gus had the spicy chicken cutlet sandwich. It was both, really good, man. I would absolutely.
There's all kind of places around here. I don't know.
There's a lot of places.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of great
I
stuff.
promise I'm going to take Earl out to lunch around here, so so we'll find a good spot.
Well, there you go. There's plenty of them.
Yeah, that place. I think that's the old Landolfi's deli over there, that Main Street. So that's always been
tomorrow.
A good place.
We got Thursday from 9 to 10. Of course, 9 to 9:30 is Fletcher, Mr. Fletcher, America's Mechanic. Make sure you check that out tomorrow. And then we have Need for Speed from 9:30 to 10. And then after that, Fred's loading up the race car, taking it down the turnpike, and he'll be at Motorsports. We'll be all set up for Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, you'll see my car going down the turnpike to the Oaks.
There you go. So
it's going to be a great weekend, I can tell. We'll have a lot to talk about next week.
Yep, it's wide open. It's Wednesday, and we're going to have a hell of a time come next Wednesday because we're going to have a lot to talk about. Got to thank Steve, Kate, Warren, everybody involved, our guests that called in today. Thank you for making Wide Open Wednesday what it is, gang. Have a good night.
All right.
Do you feel the need for speed and are a car racing fan? Then tune in every Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. for the Need for Speed Auto Show, hosted by me, America's Mechanic, Fred Fletcher. Everything you want to know about our local tracks and races to the NASCAR scene, as well as our area car shows and cruise nights. Brought to you by Fletcher's Garage in Fairless Hills and heard every Thursday morning at 9:30 on WBCB 1490 AM, 107.3 FM, and throughout the world at WBCB1490.com.